Talk about our new normal. Today it feels like I'm on Star Trek. While you're watching this, I'm presenting at an event hosted out of Sydney, while I'm actually working with leaders in Rotorua, and I'm sitting in Wellington. Cool, eh? So before I need to say beam me up Scotty, I thought I'd share my reflections on engaging and facilitating in a COVID-19 altered context and world. I'll try to get back to be part of your conversations later in the session, but in case I don't, here are my contact details. First, a confession. I missed the bat and pangolin hookup. When I did first notice coronavirus, I thought it would be like SARS and wouldn't really touch my world or my work. 54 hours and a business with a full dance card emptied to pretty much nothing. Now, apart from that giving me a fright, it also gave me an opportunity to learn and build and go back to the core purpose of my business, engaging people in making decisions together and working together to advance their communities or their business or their organisation, to solve problems and to take opportunities. I've been a facilitator of face-to-face meetings for over 30 years and an engagement practitioner for over 15. I've used virtual tools in large-scale events for quite some time, and of course designed engagement with online tools at their heart. Even so, I needed to pivot my practice, and in the last 2 months I've done nothing other than facilitate virtually. So this is what I've learned and in fact made up in that time. My first experience is that virtual conversations can be intense, transactional and hard work. And when I think about my work as a facilitator, the one thing I know that doesn't get good work done is intensity, transactional conversations or hard work. And so my focus as a virtual facilitator has been to make sure I think about and attend to how do I make the meetings that I facilitate not be run-of-the-mill and do hard work, but with a spirit of fun, engagement and enjoyment. I found 4 Ps as my watchwords, my lessons for good practice. The first is not new, but is being clear about the purpose for gathering, the purpose for bringing people together. What is it that we want to produce? What is it that we want to achieve? Where does it fit into the broader context? The second is actually about understanding the people themselves, their relationships, what's driving their participation, and what's the kind of styles and preferences they would have in any meeting. The third is to think about planning. And, well, I confess that in a face-to-face setting, my instincts are so highly tuned that sometimes I don't need to plan in detail. That's not true in a virtual setting. So that my virtual meetings are better planned. It doesn't mean I follow them slavishly, but I need to have an idea about what we're going to talk about, how we're going to talk about it, and what's the process that we're going to use. The reason for clear planning is actually in the meeting, I want to engage the 4th critical P, number 4. That's where the money shot is, and that's presence. How am I present with the group? How do I help and engage every individual in the group? And how do I make sure that I'm present to opportunities to build contributions from one member of the group to the other, and to help them notice the quality of the conversation and to see opportunities in what others are saying, not just to think about how they might participate themselves. Presence, I think, is the key to unlocking good virtual facilitation and good virtual conversations. And it's important for me to think about unlocking virtual facilitation in that way because, well, Navik asked me if I'd ever go back, and the answer is yeah, nah. Yeah, I'd love to go back to only physical facilitation because I like it and I'm good at it. But the reality is I don't think I ever will, and the reality is I don't really want to either. I think that at the moment we're overusing virtual tools because our method choice is constrained by context, constrained by health needs, and constrained by fear. In my view, it's going to last for a while, and that, in fact, fear will last longer than the resolution of coronavirus COVID-19. So we need to be good at virtual facilitation and virtual engagement in the same way we need to be good at face-to-face facilitation and face-to-face engagement. Our communities, our clients need us to be skilled operators in both settings. Our communities and our clients need us to be comfortable in working out when it's best to use what methods. In fact, I'd say that our roles and our skills and our personality have never been more important than they are now. I look forward to your conversation. I look forward to engaging with you. And again, thank you for the opportunity to be with you. And this is where I say, beam me up, Scotty.